Hi guys, it's Vakro here, and today we are going to talk about that pros can draft properly. Look, we are just going to look at the 2024 World Championship final. Two the best teams from the Korea and the Chinese, Korea and China. And as you can see, those teams drafts were very questionable, and this is like the most important games because it's the final. Yeah, this is the most important thing in a whole year. So actually, you should actually care the most about it, right? So let's just look at it. We Bankaiza, which is understandable. She's pretty okay. She's pretty strong. Jaxban obviously playing versus Bean, which is goated on him. Aurora very strong pick. You still have Ayone open. You have Ash open. Vi fair pick on a pro scene. You can easily lock down a champion. You have Kalistaban, which is considering that you have Ash open and like Misfortune and other couple ADCs, like you can just play Kate into her, just outrange her. I would say banning ADCs, which are like not Ash, Kai'Sa, which are can be like really broken, and Kai'Sa is not really like an ADC, makes kind of no sense. Okay, let's stick to it. Kalista ban is meh. Like, even though Elk is very good in the Kalista, it makes kind of no sense. And what do we will? And I believe there was a Varus. So what? Yeah, there was a Varus ban. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, Gumayushi is pretty good on Varus. They also ban him because of many times Varus being a very important pick on the words, but I wouldn't say this champion is really good. I mean, yeah, he has a CC which is an exceptional for ADC, but also slow on E, a lot of damage on Q, and in a league game, also if you go for the lethality build, he's very strong on the pro scene because of the amazing range. But what besides it? I would still probably wouldn't go for it because look, if you're going for a Varus, you can just put enemies into a cage where you will just play a scaling bottom. Like you can just go for, I don't know, like Lulu with Aphelios, Lulu with something. And after like 20-25 minute marks, when you will be just fighting on a soul, the Varus will have actually not so many damage. Like you can also go like Seraphine with something. Like the bot which will just outscale hard. Yeah, like actually the Varus is probably one of the strongest ADCs. It played perfectly, but you can just pretty much outscale him. Yeah, the issue is that yeah, he will probably have to go for the on-hit build, but if he goes on-hit build, still he has a very low range. Like he has a big range on the Q, ultimate and E, but his damage from the WQ, ultimate WQE will be very reduced because he will have less lethality and less AD overall. So you just pick something with Ascades, hopefully with the shields, and like actually just playing something with Yumi, even if she's not in the meta, makes sense. And they're just going for the safe pick, which is obviously Ayone. Then he picks Ash, pretty good pick because she's pretty broken on the pro scene. Like she's really broken on the pro scene. Also Skarner. Crazy that you ban Kalista and Kai'Sa instead of banning Skarner, which is the most OP champion on this patch. Like, bro, this is just insane. Then what we will have? It was Gnar. Blinding Gnar is no, I don't think they picked it. They picked Blinding Gnar is terrible. I'm going to be real. Blinding Gnar is terrible. Like, you can just play Gnar, and yeah, he does okay into most of the matchups, and he's pretty OP on the pro scene. But the thing with the Gnar is, I mean, whatever, like he's pretty good. He's okay as a blind pick, but you have better blind picks also on the top lane. But still, going for the Gnar is just like, you're actually not going to play the top lane so really. And also he lacks damage in the early game, so any champion which just out damage him and also has some range just totally obliterates him. Like now you just pick Rice and this guy cannot play for a whole game. Like Rice top is so broken, no one plays him on the pros, which is absolutely crazy. Crazy. But yeah, okay. As blinding top as a second pick after blinding mid is kind of meh. Then you just go Sejuani. Okay. Can't say anything. Here we have a Sylas. Overall, if Faker would just go for the little tempo what he went for Grasp, he would be winning versus Sylas on the lane, but because he went Grasp instead of going for the little tempo. Oh wait, there was no little tempo on this patch. Well, never mind. But still, like going press the attack or fleet would be maybe a little bit better than going Grasp. No, just like press the attack would be better, but no. Okay, so without the little tempo, so it's really hard. Then Sylas actually is pretty okay because he can be just Yone can just play E and just 1000 autos into you and you just die. So that's fair. Okay, we have Ziggs ban. Yeah, Ziggs is a counter pick to Ashe a little bit because she has no dashes, she has no like bonus movement speed besides the approach velocity which she plays, and also you have a Renata ban. And she's not so strong with Ashe actually. And the Rakan because On is one of the best Rakans, makes sense. Jean, terrible freaking ban. Like, like why would you ban it? Ashe basically counters Jean. She can just play ultimate when she plays ultimate. When he plays ultimate, and he's kinda useless. Also slows, and he's very depending on the movement speed. Yeah, the Rumble is a great pick into Gnar. This is like the case when this guy just outdamaged him so hard. Gnar has very low damage in the early game, so the Rumble should be able to actually, if he's not going to be cheesed by Gnar at level 1, then actually Rumble could actually just run him down. Caitlyn into Ashe. That's actually a good pick, but now see it. How do you pick a Braum into Ashe? You don't have a little tempo on the Caitlyn. You have Fleet. Because Gomesh played with Fleet. This is like, wow, outrageous. Also, there's no way you're walking up to the Ashe. There's no way that you're walking up to the Ashe. You can't slow the Skarner. Maybe it's good versus the Sylas, but versus Rumble, it's okay. But versus Ashe on the lane, that's a terrible pick. Like, Caitlyn with a Braum is terrible. You're not going to proc the passive. You actually can just proc the ultimate and just block maybe the Ashe ultimate, Caitlyn ultimate from the Knight, and E from the what's the name of it from the Rumble. Actually, Seraphine is a pretty good pick here. Like, you're never actually just killing Seraphine and Ashe. They will just outscale you. You cannot put a lot of pressure on the Ashe as Braum with what's the name with Kaylin. So actually Seraphine would be pretty good. Also some bonus slows, some bonus shields, and also the ultimate. But actually Seraphine ultimate can be just countered by Keria. So actually that they didn't go for the Seraphine is actually better. Bard is okay, but Rally is pretty good. The Braum cannot cancel anything of you. And also if Braum plays Q on you, he still can just run away just by playing W backwards, and he has to flash in and lose a flash, and then later you will have a flash, and without the flash actually Braum is like useless. So this is like the case of the Renekton being played on the pro scene. Like, he's so freaking useless without the flash. So also remember that Braum, even with the flash, is not putting the instant stun like Renekton does. So that's also kind of a different case, but still you're not going to be close. And this is like T1 lost this draft by bottom so hard. Also mid was countered. It's like You can see that it was total stomp and it was really understandable. Yeah, Gnar was kind of ahead. I can tell he was okay, but how was the early game actually? It was kind of on the Rumble side, kind of on the Rumble side. Yeah, like I said, it's really going to be hard. Also, the first blood, whatever. Let's just go to the second round of drafting. Okay, same. Jax, Aurora, Yone, Skarner. Woo, actually good bands finally. And Varus. That's not really a good band, bro. That's not really a good band. Like, yeah, I know that Korean and Chinese people just want to, I mean, players want to just go for very early game on the bottom, but no, you can just really just outscale, man. Like, most of the games are going to be over 30 minutes. What was the first game minutes? I mean, how many? Maybe 25 actually. 26. Okay, makes sense. 27. But still, like, you can just go for something without attacking, like Ash. Like, right? Why do you. Wait, there was a second game, yeah. Here. Okay, so you just ban Varus. Why? Like, still, you have Ash, which is much stronger than Varus overall in the meta. Why ban? Okay. You first pick Kalista when there is an Ash as a counter pick. Bro, that's. Why would you first pick Kalista if there's, like, actually Ash open? It's kind of like Ash favored a lot. And then you just go Rumble blind pick, which is terrible thing to do because you can easily counter Rumble with, like, some tanks. Like, for example, Ornn. Like, even Sion could be good. He just rushes some magic. Or Rice. Rice also is pretty good. And also, why here you just pick Rumble instead of, like, taking Renata from them? If you take Renata from there, here, you won. You basically won. Unless they will just go for the Blitzcrank as a counter pick. Or just something like, I don't know, trash? No, I think trash. Like something like which really has to go in, but still you have Ash, so you can just disengage easily. So just take Renata here. It was so free. If you take Renata, that's actually 2-0 at this point. Like, of course, it depends on top lane, mid lane, but it's 0. Okay, let's see. They pick Renata. That's I don't really understand. Then you blind Silas, which is very questionable. I wouldn't say that blind Silas into just Ash Rumble is actually enough, but you have to blind something. So I would say, okay, let's be it. It's not terrible. It's kind of bad, but maybe it's bad or okay. But it's fine. Yeah, you're just being counterpicked with Galio, basically. And now it's all looking good, but still you have a Kalista with Granata, which is just broken. Okay, we are going on the Gnar ban. Yeah, like in the last game, actually, Gnar could pull off versus the Rumble. There's the Nabel, Kindred. Jun is a pretty good Kindred. And also the Kindred with Galio is a broken combo. Then we ban Wukong. Also, Jun is amazing on Wukong. We ban Sedu1. We have no junglers. Basically, you just go Zin, which is kind of bad, I would say. Like, why would you go Zin if you have basically, I don't really get it. Why would you go for it versus basically two smaller end champs? You have also you don't really want to go for a champion which has to go into Renata. Like, it would be better just pick something with range, no? Like, but also you can't pick Brand there because you have already too much. You're just, like, forced to go 80 damage since Vi is. Also, you have no Wukong, so let's see what actually Jun could be play to this season. Kindred, Jarvan. Jarvan could be better, but I still don't think Jarvan is okay because of the ultimate from the Renata. I mean, not from the Renata. No, all season. Lee Sin. Lee Sin is open, no? Lee Sin would be better, no? I believe it. Also, you could be able to kick. No, but no, it's the same case. You just kick, for example, Renata. Also, you kick Kalist. No, 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 no. Hekarim. Olaf, actually, Olaf, bro. Olaf is like a free pick here, no? Like, I might get it. Like, it's not in the meta. It's better be played on the top side, but you can just go Olaf in the jungle. It's actually very good. You cannot go Lilia because of the damage luck. Craves could be also a pretty good pick, but he is a smaller range. The thing is that they force themselves with this Rumble stupid pick to just go 80 jungle because you will like that 80 damage. You will have just magic damage. It's just so stupid. Knowing that you're probably forced to go Kindred. Like, look, you could, even without playing the Rumble, you could just, I know, do anything. Like, you take the Renata, they have to play. No, that is so terrible. They just forcing. Like, actually, I feel like Viego, Lee Sin, or just like I said, the great pick is going to be Olaf here. Olaf will be crazy good here. And Ornn, yeah, the top is over. There's no way that you're killing Ornn as a Rumble unless like he's going to fight you in the early game, but he can just drop 20, 30 CS and he just beat first item and you're not killing him, buddy. I mean, yeah, maybe you will kill him in a very long fight, but it's not going to happen. Nocturne, I would say, I mean, that's fine considering that you have a very close range. What's the name of it? Team comp. You have very close range team comp. Here, that's how it looks like. Nocturne is a fine pick, I would say, because you just go into Galio. I mean, you don't really want to go into Galio, but you just counter Ash so hard, like she cannot actually escape without a flash or cleanse. And look, if they had Renata, they couldn't pick Nocturne. It just counters her. I mean, just counters the Nocturne totally. And now you're just forced to go, for example, for something pretty strong on the support, which is able to actually make Nocturne and or not being able to jump on the Ash, which is probably is going to be one of the hard things to do. I would say that actually here Braum is going to be a perfect pick because look, there you have a close range Kalista ADC. You have a Faker which has to go in with a close range. Ornn is a close range champion. Also, the Nocturne is a close range champion. So here, just going Ornn is a pretty good thing. Also, Seraphine could be good just to counter the Renata ult, I would say. But still, I would say Braum is going to be really good here. But you just go for the Rakan, which, yeah, he can work as disengage, but you know why it's terrible? I will just tell you. Because, yeah, Rakan just play W, which Nocturne just counter, but he cannot stop the Ornn ultimate. He might stop the Nocturne if the Nocturne is going to be blind. Also, yeah, that reaction times of the pro players are very, very small. So Rakan, even though like yeah, he's a great Rakan player, no. You already have a lot of engage considering the Zin, you have considering the Galio, you have Ash, you don't really need it. Also, you don't want to give an ultimate, the Rakan ultimate to the Sylas, you can give a Braum ultimate to the Sylas. Yeah, I just don't get it. Don't get it. Rakan is not so good of a pick, I would say here. Also, then Rakan, if Rakan goes in, he gets the ultimate from the Renata. And he can't actually jump on anyone else. Also, he's going to be pulled away from the Renata. or just slowed by Kalista. Yeah, there are so many slows and CCs for the Rakan just to be useless or just bombed before he will actually do something. So of course with the flash, here actually T1 just have much better draft and they win. They just win. Basically, Rumble can't kill him, even though he dropped a lot of CS. Does it pretty much stomp. Also, Faker, I'm not going to talk about the items, I'll just make a different video. Oh, we have a pink word here. Okay, another round of the draft. Okay, let's see. Varus ban, which is stupid. Once again, I will say it. Nico? Why would you ban Nico? Are you scared of Knight Nico? Or on Nico? It's played once. Why would you ban Nico? It feels like they just didn't know what to ban actually. That was trying out, oh fuck, I'm just ban Nico. Now that's terrible. Kalista once again. But look, now you can just go Kalista since you have no Ash. Now Kalista is a pretty good pick. Now what T1 should do? We are stealing. Also, Jax is a great pick. You have a very small range AD champion. Great pick. You just take Kalista. I mean, not the Kalista, you just take the Renata. Yeah, they took it pretty good for the T1. Now you can just do what? You can just try to say that's Kalista support, yeah, and we are just going to play outrange. No, it's not going to happen. We just go Rumble, which is okay in the Jax. I mean, Bean knows what is good in the Jax. Like, you shouldn't pick Jax. You just shouldn't pick it when the other guy is the best Jax ever. Like, he knows how to play against him. Like, no, you shouldn't do that. And here is a great response with the BLG. After stealing the Renata, you just go Blitzcrank. If Renata is being pulled over, she needs to play ultimate or she's dead. Flashing out, I don't think so. Renata will just give you a slow. You will be just bombed. You'll be just bombed totally. And I don't think it's actually a good thing. I mean, the Renata Glask still wasn't so good because of the Blitzcrank. I also remember if Blitzcrank pulls you over, the thing is like, he just plays ult. You can't play even ult. So the thing is like, you have to play the ult when the hook hits you, which is also another hard thing to do because you don't actually gamble if it hits you or not because you will just whip the ultimate if it's not going to hit you. Now, Sylas. Why do you take Sylas? I mean, Sylas is fine considering they have a small range champion, but versus Blitzcrank, do you really go Sylas? Which gives you a silence? Also has a 2 CCs? Nah. I wouldn't go Sylas. If they ban Galio, that's pretty good. Also, just banning some counter picks. Actually, I would say that castling could be good this game. I have a scale, you have a pretty strong top, strong bot. So you can just pick a scaling mid. Akaliban, understandable. Sejuani, Draven from the Gumayushi. Oh, I would say. I mean, yeah, you have to ban something. There are actually no broken junglers left. You could just go like Nocturne or Lee Sin maybe, but they are scared to go Lee Sin on the most important game. I mean, final. So yeah, Draven could be fine. Like, like Draven can counter Kalista also. But Kalista, actually, if I remember well, I was talking with one champion, with one OTP of Draven, that Kalista, if Draven is not going to kill her in the early game, then actually Kalista later is going to be stronger. But I'm not so sure about. I don't remember. Maybe it's the opposite. The Vi just to lock in the Kalista, pretty good pick, even though, but yeah, she's unstoppable. Of course, she's going to be silenced. Not so bad. Here they took the Kindred with Galio, which won the game. That's how you win the game. The game is won. You can take the Zaya, but it's not going to be any different. Like it's just won. There's no way you have to place it so terribly wrong just to lose it. Galio counter Silas. Also, we have the AD damage, so you don't have like actually 3 AP gems. You have the Kindred in the jungle, which is amazing, and yeah, the Kindred will just stomp the game. You know it. Like you can just one shot her. Also, if you will try to just one shot her, she probably will play the ultimate, and also the Galio ultimate. No, it's just lost. There's no actually way that she'll win it. Also, you can just play Blitzcrank in, which is pretty strong too. That just lost, like I said, 2-1. 2-1. Makes sense. Yeah, Kindred totally stomped. Also, why the fuck do you go Mercs? I mean, I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, you have Rumble now. No. Okay, let's just jump into the third game. I just want to make it faster because I'm recording for so long. Okay, Jack's been pretty good. Janne, Aurora, Skarner. Why Varus? Why Kalista? Why would you ban Kalista? You have Ashe open, they pick it, you just play Ashe. You don't have to ban it. So stupid. It is. They just take the Ashe. And now what do you play against it? Do you go, I don't know. Actually, Jinx is pretty good, but they're not going to pick the Jinx. She wasn't in the meta back then. You can just go Caitlyn. You could also try to go for the Jean. Kaiser, I wouldn't say she's so strong, but you could also go Kaiser. Like Kaiser is open. Ezreal, I don't think so. I'm looking at the patch. Miss Fortune is actually good. I would say into Ashe. No, you actually go Gnar. Like I said, the Gnar blind is like not so good. And then you just go Zeke's, which is pretty good also. Then they just play Renata with Ashe. This is like very interesting, but it makes sense if, for example, Zeke's will just try to kill her instantly. You can just give her a shield. Actually, I don't know. Like, I don't think that Renata was so good here. I would say, like, actually, you could just play something with shields, like Seraphine or just Lulu. So Ziggs can't actually bomb you, and you can every single time run down the Ziggs. Whatever. We have Silas blind. No, bro, like, you're doing it for the third time. Makes no fucking sense. Like, yeah, that's good into Gnar. You're stealing the Gnar ult, so this is why another thing why you shouldn't just blind Gnar. We have Ari was actually a good pick here, but you don't really want to give the Ari ultimate fake to the Silas, I would say. But Ari would be okay. Vex is amazing. Going for like Ian is banned. What actually counter Silas? You could just play Akali here, no? Like, it would be really hard to stop the Akali in this game. I would say, yeah. Smaller. I would say. In this case, you have to play. You cannot just play the scaling top, which Gnar S. You have to play a very strong top lane and just play for top lane. So actually, top lane will be ahead. And then after top lane is ahead, you can actually play it because the bottom will just probably outpush or just try to push. You have a scaling mid laner. You don't have basically mid laner before the 22, 23 minutes. So I would say you just want to disengage as much as you can, but I would still go for a strong top lane just in the case that someone will have to carry it till like 20 minutes. Like maybe Renekton even could be okay. Like a doing much better blind, not gonna lie. Blitzcrank is banned by Nocturne, obviously. Nocturne, I would say Silas. Meh. But they could also go once again for Ornn with the Nocturne. Zinzao. They take Sejuani. Fair enough. It's actually a good ultimate for the Silas. Like I said, they take Rumble, so actually the Rumble is going to be stronger in the 1v on all-ins every single time versus Gnar. So yeah, you can just play smart and just to have some CS up. You can just outrange Kane, you can be just like scaling. But no, it's don't just blind Gnar, guys. And here, this is massive. The Poppy peak is massive here. You can just cancel the W from the Ziggs. You can just cancel E from the Gnar. This, like I said, Renekton wouldn't be so good here if we can't Poppy in. Also, you don't want to play Renekton if actually the Rumble is open. There's like... I mean, the Renekton wouldn't be so good. But still, you have Sejuani Q, which can be countered. And yeah, it looks like that. And now, I would say, considering that you have a true damage and AD on the mid lane, you have AD on the top side, you have mixed damage in the jungle, I would say you just go, wait, DP, no, DP Poppy, yeah. You just go for like some scaling thing. Like, you just outrange so hard the Ashe and Renata, they can't go on you. You don't really want to go with something into Renata once again, like I'm going to say. Also, you want to go freaking in if you have a puppy. You don't really want to go in if you have a puppy. So, also anything with dashes. So I would say like here you just pick, which is going to be good. Seraphine will be crazy good here because puppy has to go in. So Silas has to go in. They are pretty much low ranged, so they go in. You just play ult, have two people CC, you just kill the Silas, and that's it right now. And it can give you some time. You can just ult them and just run away, give them some slows, or just root them, give shields to your team. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Even playing Sona would be great here. So it's kind of so stupid. Like, I don't actually get it. Why actually they would just go for it. Like, Rakan is just such a dumb decision. Even if you're like one of the best Rakans in the world. The Rakan just inted here. The Pig just inted here. The Pig lost actually the third game. You just go for scaling support. And you just don't care. That's it. You can just go for any healing. Like even healing Senna would be okay. Not gonna lie, healing Senna would be even good. So it's such a stupid thing to do. So yeah, obviously they lost. Like even the late game of the smaller wasn't able to actually catch up. Even when he was like ahead when it comes to the CS, he wasn't so ahead in the gold. But yeah, They were so behind. The top lost. Also, he went for a Wilson second. Um, yeah, that's kind of terrible bit also from the bean, but he was so behind, I guess. And yeah, the Ziggs also dealt no fucking damage, and he built anti-heal versus who? Versus Silas? No, I can't watch it. Okay, let's go to the last game. Okay, so this is like the most stupid thing you will ever see probably in the gaming industry ever happened. This draft was so fucking bad I couldn't even watch it live. Like really. Okay, just jumping straight into it. Varus first ban. In what world do you go for a first ban when you have to ban Yone, Skarner, and Aurora? You just, instead of just going for the speaks and actually enemy doesn't have to go for it also, you just leave it and just waste ban over Varus. So stupid. But okay, let's see it. Like, actually, Varus could be fine as the last ban. Aurora ban, pretty good ban from the T1. BLG ban, Ash. That's good ban. That's good ban, like Varus. The Yone ban is pretty good. They don't ban Jax. They ban Kalista and Skarner. I wouldn't say that Kalista ban is okay. Like, why would you ban Kalista? I mean, I understand maybe because Ashe is banned, so that's why you want to ban it. But still, Skarner, pretty good ban. With Varus, I don't get it. Here, you just insta blinded the Jax, right? But the stupid thing what they did, they wasted the ban on Varus. And remember, if Varus goes lethality, still he has no damage if actually Jax will jump on him. But Jax has to have a good matchup. There are two matchups which Jax loses. One is Riven. No one is going to pick Riven. The second one is Gragas. And you know that Zeus can play Gragas and he played him many times. You don't ban a Gragas. But you wasted ban on a Varus, which if he goes attack speed, that's better for you. If he goes lethality, you will be still able to catch him up, to catch him anywhere. But yeah, whatever. Like, anyway, the Jax would just carry the game. Like, doesn't matter if they take the Varus. But yeah, I know, do you have a PTSD from the DRX here? Maybe you do. Maybe you just seen the games like this. No, don't fucking ban the stupid dog shit champion. Like, you have 10 times stronger champs on this patch, which should be banned. But no. Okay, whatever. I'm pissed off already. It's Gragas. You just lost top lane. You will be useless for the whole fucking game as a Jax. Unless you're going to catch someone and the Gragas will be, I don't know, watching the second screen. But pro players don't have a second screen here. You blind pick Galio. This is so dog shit. Why would you ever blind pick Galio? Like, man, they take 3 stunner now, imagine, and they take, for example, Kindred. And it's over for you. It's fucking over for you. You are so useless. Like, yeah, then Gragas will go Tabis. Yeah, he's not going to be killed. They will have a tank on the jungle. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like, okay, fuck the Kindred. You just go 3 stunner mids. Galio can't play. Galio can't play for the whole game. Also, you can just go for like Victor mid lane. You can go Cassadin just out carry. You don't go any melee champ on the mid lane. Melee AP champ. You can go for a range champ. But you, in this case, if you're going for it, remember that Jax after the changes has a lot of magic damage. So basically, the thing is, you don't really want to deal a lot of damage here. I mean, magic damage, because cells also go for like, I know, Kaenic. So just looking at it, you don't ever want to blind Galio unless you're playing in the AP champ. But you can still pick like range mid lane champion. It's going to be okay. So what do we have here? We pick Kaiser. Why would you pick Kaiser if... Okay, the thing is, if she goes full AD, that's fine. That's really fine, the Galio. But still, remember, if she goes AD, she has a very low range. So why would you want to go alone, low range ADC into Gragas and the... what's the name of it? The Galio? Why would you go for it? Like, man, just use your brain sometimes, no? You don't want to do this. It's so stupid. But whatever, they still went for it. Also, the Elg will just go for the static build. Also for the... what's the name of it? For the natural stuff. So actually, you'll have no damage into the Galio because Galio will actually go for the aftershock and will rush the magic resistance item. So it makes this pick so stupid. Here you could just go Caitlyn. Here you could just like, look, 3 gems are banned. If you pick Caitlyn, I don't think actually you can contest the skies if they'll pick it. You can just take Jin. You can take Jinx. You can take Ezreal and be safe. You could take Misfortune. She's kind of low ranged. But yeah, like Misfortune wouldn't be so good. But you could just take so many picks like that. You could also go Draven. No, Draven sucks. But you can just take Ezreal. You can take Caitlyn. You could just take Jhin. Would be fine, no? And then, what do we pick? Since you took it, I would say you are forced to play AD mid lane. You are forced to. So what do you play? Do you go Tristana? Probably she's kind of meh in this patch, if I remember correctly. She's 42%. Let's just see for the higher euros if she's played more. I think it was after Tristana was nerfed. But still, Chovy played Tristana, so you could just play Tristana, I would say. Yeah, you could play her. Even though, like, she's pretty good into Galio, definitely. You could just play Tristana. Diana is banned. You could go Yasuo, but it wouldn't be so good. You don't really... But still, Yasuo should be able to actually win. Zed, no one else can play Zed. Also, we need some knockups. So this is like the issue with the playing Yasuo here. Or you could just play something with outskills him. Like Kassadin would be okay. No, actually you can't. You can't pick AP. So ADTF. ADTF would be insane. I'm not joking. ADTF is a better version of any Galio ever. You take ADTF here, it's one. I mean, someone will say, but you know, ADTF was nerfed. Still, this playable. ADTF would be crazy here. It would be crazy. So I would say you could just pick even Lucian mid lane. You could just pick Lucian mid lane. You could pick Tristana mid lane. You could pick maybe Yasuo. You could pick ADTF. And the mid lane is one game probably also. You can go Silas just to try to counter the ultimate, but I wouldn't say so because you need AD damage. Going for AP damage sucks. Any AP damage sucks, considering that you have a very heavy AP damage based team. Like, I know you could even go Pantheon or Renekton mid lane would be smarter. Just go anything else. Renekton not. Pantheon could be okay. You pick Ari. But you will say, oh, but Ari has some AP damage, you know, it's okay. He's laughing because he's a dumb boss. Why would you pick Ari? Considering that they have already one tank, and so the second tank only. They have 2 tanks and you pick like 70% of your damage is a magic damage. It's just so stupid. So stupid. Okay, they just counter with what? With Desire. Pretty smart, considering that it's just this is why also I understand why they would just go Kaiser. Like Kaiser is getting to be, there was like a meta. The Kaiser was a lot of times broken, so Zaya was also every single time a counter pick to her. But yeah, this is like what happened here. But still, they went for Kaiser. You get a counter pick on the basically ADC on the top lane and on the mid lane. I mean, not really on the mid lane because Harry can just play it, but still she won't have a damage. I would say Ari could be good if she goes Void Staff second or a third item because she needs to deal damage into Gallia, right? I would actually say second since Gallia is going for the magic resistance item, but whatever. The game is basically lost already. The only thing from coming back is just Kindred Jungle. Kindred Jungle actually. The only thing how you come back at, like heavy AD jungler. Like maybe even Kha'Zix. But like the thing with any range champion, AD champion, is going to be strong. The Wukong is banned. Yeah, Wukong is actually good here into, for example, Zaya. Rakan ban. And I don't understand it totally. Kindred ban, that's over. That's over. The game was lost. Renata ban. Um, I don't get it. Why would you pick? I mean, okay, I understand. You don't want to have a Zaya Rakan. My bad. Zaya Rakan is very strong. You don't want to have a Zaya with Renata because you want to kill the Zaya. Okay, that's understandable. Okay, my bad. Then. Now they pick the Poppy. You have basically 3 champs who dash. Man, the T1 just outdraft so hard the BLG. It's crazy. What do you pick? Another champion with the dash? Jarvan with a dash. Insane. Actually, this shit is insane. I think he was forced to it. He could just go Xin. He was forced here, but I would say Xin was better because Xin can just go for longer fights with enemy mid or top, and he can just block the damage from the Zaya, I would say, like from the Qs, for example. So, as for me, I would say, I mean, overall Jarvan is okay here into Zaya because he kind of counters. She cannot just go with the ultimate over his ultimate, but yeah, like already you're just not going to kill her basically because of the Poppy, Galio, Gragas. They're not going to let you so easily. Like overall, yeah, Jarvan is a good response to the Zaya, but yeah, still, I would say Zin could be better. And here, actually, Blitzcrank could be a thing which would save this team because you have a small range ADC, so you just hook, for example, Poppy, you hook Zaya, or she has to wait a very long cooldown ultimate. So that makes sense. That makes sense, and actually, it would be pretty good. There's a chance that actually you could come back from that, but I guess not. They just go for what? For Rel, which is another champion which is countered by Poppy, and basically every single champion on your team have dash. So I would just FF this game. Like I would just leave it and I wouldn't play it. I would say like I know my computer was bombed. I can't play it. Like makes no freaking sense at all. And then they can just pick Yumi top or pick Yumi jungle and they won. Doesn't matter. This is like the only way they control it. Just pick Yumi jungle or some shit like that. They take Zin, which is very good champion. I mean, no, not really. Zin is meh, but you don't have any AD junglers left besides Lee Sin, so I would say you could go also Kha'Zix. You could, but Zin is probably one of the best AD junglers left. Definitely. What else was last this game? Viego would be actually good. Viego would be good. Viego would be better than Z in this game. And also play with Vigo a couple of the times. You could also go Graves, but you don't want to go into the bin. Makes no sense. So I would say Viego or Zin or Lee Sin, depends. But I would say probably Viego would be the best. Viego would be the best. So here I would say they lost. They lost totally. They were so outdrafted. It's crazy. Also, what did the knight build? He went CDR boots into pre fucking mercs. Man, you know what? I don't know. I'm done. I'm done. It will be it. But that's how you can tell that pros can't actually draft. Like, even from the both sides, like T1 and BLG played the draft so horribly. Like, it's not like they were, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, they're pro players, they have coaches, and they still draft so terribly. Like, why they are not going for picks like, I know, top price? They are not going for the picks like, even Vladimir top. I mean, no, Vladimir kind of sucks, but I would say why they wouldn't go for like any tanks, just weak sided. Why they don't go for scaling ADC, scaling bottoms? I don't understand it. Why they wouldn't go for scaling mid laners? Why they wouldn't go for any pretty good junglers? Like, why they would never just go for carry junglers at this top level? Like, see, like, look, they took Kindred and the Kindred just 1v9'd. Why you shouldn't just go for it? Why you shouldn't just go for it much more times? You can even blind the Kindred. There's not really a lot of picks which can be played into Kindred. I know Graves. Like, really? Like, of course, in the early game, sometimes we can invade her. The Lee Sin could be good into Kindred, but still, man, you could like have a lot of good picks here. Like, I just don't get it. They just went for the comfort picks and they lost because they were so baited into it. They didn't ban the counter picks, so they lost. Like, look, ban Zaya instead of Varus, ban Gragas instead of Varus, and you actually have it easier. Just don't go ADC in the first round. Just go for a jungler, for AD jungler into Galio. I know. It's just crazy, crazy. Pros don't understand how to draft correctly. Also, they can't think like of any Tristana mid lanes. They can't think of any pretty good picks. Like, that's just insane. I would say, like, they can't think of Jin who would be better here. They can't think of. I mean, Jin into tanks, kind of meh, but still it would be better if he wouldn't go instantly static into it. Like, they didn't go any Lee Sin. I don't get it. Like, why don't you want to show up and show that you're like the best? Just do some combos on the faker or just knight and just show them that you can just put the ultimate on them and just. I don't get it. Really. Like, any Malphite stop, any like Malphite as a counter pick into Ash, I didn't see it. I didn't see it even once. Of course, because the Rumble is here, but still you can just go rush Kaenik. You're not going to be killed by Rumble and you just go straight into Ash and just she's mopping the floor instantly. Like any science. I know people Olaf into Renata. That's another great thing. I know people just are so scared. Like here also Olaf into look so many CC. Look, instead of a top Gragas, you have Olaf, you're not going to blind it. You just run down the Gragas, you just run down the Galio, you just run down the Zaya, like you just run down the Poppy, like you just run down Zin. Like there are so many picks and people are still so scared of it. I don't get it. They just play the usual, which makes it so stupid, but that's it. So yeah, that will be guys for it. It's just 54 minutes of the material. It's I don't even know what to say. Like I'm not going to cut it, but I put so many good crucial things about the drafting and why pros in drafting is terrible, even though they have coaches. Like, man, why they're paid? Just take me. I'm just going to coach better. You will win much more games because of the drafts. Like, it's so stupid. you can't just like go so Ivern. Like Ivern is a pretty good pick with shields and everything. And of course he's going to be outscaled, but for the first 20-30 minutes, it's insane. Like I know, like they didn't even go for like huge early game. They're just going to be outscaled also. I mean, actually not, but it depends. The Gragas is pretty huge in the late game also. I know, this shit is so stupid. Like how they can just make some mistake, not some, like huge, a lot of mistakes at drafting. And I will just make a next video probably tomorrow about the itemization, because man, I can't watch it. Like the itemization is so toxic from the pro players, it's just crazy. But yeah, that will be it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. And yeah, bye.